Joining us today is someone that enjoys kayaking over huge waterfalls. It is safe to say that Bren Orton is an absolute adrenaline junkie.
I wouldn't put it quite like that.
What I would say is that hot, sweaty, heart-racing nervousness associated with an adrenaline rush isn't all that it's cracked up to be anyway, especially in comparison to the intrinsic rewards associated with overcoming challenges and dangerous situations with your friends. Though I realise that doesn't sound quite as catchy to say on the telly.
And truth be told, my love of kayaking does at times manifest itself as a bit of an addiction. For example, I struggle to make it much more than 3 days without going kayaking. I tend to get pretty twitchy and fidgety and stroppy, which is an English word commonly used to describe bad-tempered children. And I'm alright with being called stroppy, but please, don't call me a junkie. The thing about it is that when you use the word junkie, your brain paints all these images of an old abandoned house, and somewhere tucked away in a back room is a poor unfortunate soul that's clearly lost his way. Whereas for myself, the sport of kayaking in the river helped me to find my path. I was 16 years old, my parents had finally come to the end of a horrible relationship, and I didn't feel like I had to be at home to protect my mum anymore. I wouldn't say I ran away from home, but what I would say is that I ran to the river. I was so in love with the way water moves, and the way that you could use the kayak to move with the water, to flow amongst it. All I wanted to do was to spend more time on the water, learning its secrets. I would do anything to get the money to travel to new rivers, including digging graves and taking part in some paid medical trials. Though that sounds pretty rough, at the time I just didn't care. As long as I was on the water every day, then life was good. And I have to be honest, those tough times didn't last long. In this sport, you're always on the lookout for your fellow kayaker, and that form of altruism tends to carry itself off the water, and I will be forever grateful to everyone that's helped me out along the way.
Sounds like what you're trying to say is that you're a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
My biggest problem with being called a junkie is that it implies that I have lost control, whereas actually what I'm trying to do is remain in control while riding the most destructive force in nature. There's a humble, beautiful, stoic power to water as it moves down the river. No matter what obstacle is put in its way, the river always tries to keep moving forwards. That's just one of the lessons I've learned from the river, but perhaps the most important. No matter what life throws at you, stay calm, be creative, and try and find a way past it. So no, I wouldn't call myself an adrenaline junkie. I'd call myself a student of the river. Which, at the very least, sounds better when my mum hears it.